Hello, I'm Vicki Castori, editor of Packaging Technology Today. Welcome to our Thought Leadership interview series. Today, Jason Clugston, an OEM account specialist for Camfil air pollution control, will discuss technology and strategies to safely collect, contain, and dispose of dust particles. Thank you for joining me, Jason.
Thank you for having me, Vicki. I appreciate you letting me do this with you.
Jason, there's no question air quality is one of the most critical aspects of workplace safety. Let's start by talking about the challenges dust presents in manufacturing environments.
That sounds good.
Why is it so important to control dust particles when manufacturing packaging materials?
Well, the thing about packaging in the industry, it's very large and can involve food as well as paper. Many different types of dust can be created, as well as large particles that are also could be explosive, whether it be for workers' health, breathing in dust-laden environment, or also to prevent explosion. Source capture and the right dust collection equipment is very important and will make the difference for sure.
Now, obviously this is regulated. Can you tell me which agencies set the safety standards surrounding dust emissions and collection?
The main one, our main focus when we're applying any type of equipment to any type of process is NFPA and OSHA. NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association. So with a lot of the dust and environments that we're putting our equipment in, you have anything that ranges from explosive to something that has fire properties.
So what types of dust emissions are the most dangerous? For example, are there risks associated by paper, metal, plastic packaging?
Dust is a common air pollutant generated by many different sources and activities. The type and the size of dust particles influence, how harmful that dust is to human health. The possible amount of dust present in the air and how long you've been exposed to that dust are all important factors that kind of drive into that. As I said before, with the dust collection system in place, you can better control that dust, making it safe for your employees as well as the environment.
How can packaging manufacturers safely collect, contain, and dispose dust particles?
A dust collector is perfect for this. A well-designed capture setup, you can capture the dust and the process that your process may produce. The dust will go from your process to the dust collector, where it's contained in the dust collector and on the filters in the hopper. The cleaning system will then clean the dust off the filters down the hopper into several different vessels, such as a dust drawer, 55-gallon drum, dump hopper, just to name a couple of the options that we provide. This will make easy disposal for the dust that's produced.
So, Jason, where is it safest to install a dust collector? For example, does it have to be installed outdoors, or can it be done safely indoors?
This is a kind of an interesting question. So our dust collectors are designed for indoor and outdoor use. With a properly engineered dust collector for flammable and explosive dust, the dust collector can be installed indoors. Given that, it is often less costly to install that same equipment for that same process outdoors. So with an indoor piece of equipment, you need a lot more fire protection, and because you'll have a lot more people around that equipment. So a lot more engineering and design work needs to go into that to make sure it's safe for everybody on the floor.
Well, it sounds like it takes quite a bit of expertise to identify the right system. So what should packaging manufacturers look for or consider when they're choosing a supplier?
A big one is looking for someone who can size the equipment correctly. A collector is often undersized, so you're constantly having to change those filters out, or you're letting dust escape the dust collector into your shop. Look for a company that has good knowledge on fire protection. That's going to be a huge one. You want to make sure that that company is following the guidelines that are an industry standard for us. You want to doing your research is a big thing too. Finding out the KST value and particle size and dust properties of your dust is also a big thing you need to consider when choosing your system, on whether your system will be outside, inside, or what type of fire protection you'd need. So those are a couple things that you kind of want to look for when looking for the company that you're going to go with to install a system in your facility.
All good advice. And do you have any other tips that you'd like to share with our viewers?
A big tip is, call somebody. If you have a process that you're worried about, or you don't have an idea of what type of equipment to put in there, reach out to somebody, do some research. There's at our facility in particular, we'd have a salesperson come out there or an engineer come out there and just see what your shop has to offer and see kind of what's going on. And we also do dust testing for free. So be able to tell you your particle size of your dust and what type of properties, whether it's sticky or it has some moisture in it, just all things that you wouldn't really think about are something that you need to convey that dust away from your process and safely dispose of it.
This has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you for sharing your expertise with our viewers, Jason.
No problem. I appreciate you having me. If anybody has any questions or want to follow up, reach out to Camfil or just do some research and kind of find out what you're going to need for your particular application.
Once again, you've been listening to Jason Clugston with Camfil. To learn more about strategies and technology to safely collect dust particles, visit Camfil APC's website at camfilapc.com. Again, that's CAMFILAPC.com. You can also find the link to Camfil's website and additional educational resources by clicking videos at packagingtechtoday.com. Thanks for watching.